A couple years ago, I made an LED cube. Now, the goal going in was to try and make a cube for pretty cheap, and so I considered programmable LEDs, but they seemed expensive, so I was like, I don't really want to do that. And then of course there are shift registers, but even now, my head sees that as work, and I'm against that. So instead, I melted my brain trying to figure out how to apply this two-dimensional Charlieplex matrix to a three-dimensional cube. And after many hours of soldering in an unventilated bedroom, I emerged with a couple brain cells intact and one working cube. I've been using it for the last couple years, and it's quite nice to have around, but it's not perfect. It only lights up one LED at a time, so overall it looks quite dim. And then of course, because of that, the more LEDs that you turn on, the dimmer it gets. And then of course there's this weird error where sometimes colors and LEDs that shouldn't be turn on. You're like, why are you doing that? I haven't really figured that one out. Maybe it's something I can fix, but I haven't yet, and it's there and it's kind of annoying. Now, I did a video on it, and in the comments of that, I got some comments for hey, you should use programmable LEDs. And for some reason, thinking about programmable LEDs again caused me to it just kind of got stuck in my head. And so I was like, hey, I want to do that. So that's what we're doing. Because I'm an idiot and don't trust AliExpress, I ordered my LEDs from Adafruit for $111. It's okay, see, because okay, I've got it all listed out, okay? So AliExpress, it would have been $25.86 to order LEDs, but instead I did an Adafruit order, right? And I ordered some other stuff from that Adafruit order, but since it's not for this project, it doesn't count. So we just scratch it off, okay? So we get to the LEDs, it was $111.50. We just get rid of that 50 because no one cares about decimals. We just, okay, so it's $111. We take that 111 and we convert it to binary. So it's not $111, it's $111, okay? Now, then we just take that 111 and we convert it back to base 10. So 111 in binary becomes 7 in base 10. So it's not 111, it's $7, okay? And then I got free stuff. We like free stuff. Free stuff is good. And there was a discount as well because it was Black Friday. So all this adds up to minus $35 roughly, okay? So I set for minus 35 plus 7 gets you minus 28. So I would have paid $25. Instead, I gained $28. I made $28. See, this is why this works. This is why this makes sense. This is okay. It's all okay. It works. You've heard of girl math. This is EE math right here. The LEDs were in packs of 5, so I had to order 25 packs. These LEDs may look like normal RGB LEDs, but they're actually more like the LEDs on this strip, just in a different form factor. They've got a chip inside that handles lighting up the LED. The microcontroller just sends the color info on the DN pin, and the chip lights that color. That means that all the LEDs will be lit at once, resulting in a much brighter cube. This is it. I just finished soldering everything together and wired it up, and now I'm about to turn it on for the very first time. And if even one connection is wrong, if one ground is tied to one power, then $7 will be completely up in smoke. Hey! Oh my god. I wasn't expecting them all to come on at once. I really should have read that code. Oh, it looks so good. Ooh. But I turn into Charles Boyle all of a sudden? Okay. Here's it all finished. On my last cube I just set a single button, but this time I've added a brightness dial as well. It's got a better build quality than my last one. On the old one I printed the base way too thin, and that plus the questionable solder joints makes everything feel very delicate. This one's got a nice thick solid base and stronger solder connections. One thing I thought about doing but never did with the old one was make an acrylic case for it, so this time around I made one. It slots down in this channel and then is bolted on. Now I got a comment on the last video saying I should try a frosted case, so I've done that too. And then I had another idea, so I made this. It's clear acrylic covered in two-way mirror film for an infinity mirror effect. And to further lean into the infinity mirror styling, I've added a strip of extra thin LEDs to the inner edge of the case. The LEDs are set up in the code to act like a dynamic TV backlight where they copy the color of the nearest cube LEDs. I've coded in a couple different modes for this infinity LED strip and can set the mode to change how the infinity LEDs behave. I can change if the neighboring LEDs on the strip will dim the farther from the LED they are or not. I can set how deep into the cube the lit LED can be and still light up the edge strips. I can also set if there will be a distance dimming effect or not. Now here I have them together, and it's pretty obvious pretty quickly that the Acrylic is a lot dimmer than the NeoPixels, and the Acrylic is running at 100% brightness, whereas the NeoPixels are running at less than 40% brightness, because I programmed the brightness dial to only go up to a max of 40%. It's not even turned up all the way. So there's a pretty distinct difference in brightness. One thing that I didn't think about though going into this project was it looks like it's a lot faster to set a color on the Acrylic than on the NeoPixels, which makes sense because the LEDs are all wired directly to the microcontroller on the Acrylic, whereas with the NeoPixels is having to send a message down the line. So like when I was first taking the patterns that I initially developed for the Acrylic and running them on the NeoPixels, I was having to change all the delays to accommodate for this. And one area that this really shines out, pun intended, is with like pulsing an LED. I can pulse an LED a lot faster with a Charlieflex than I can with the NeoPixels. And I'm sure there are ways to improve my NeoPixel code to make it faster, but in its current state, it's a lot faster to pulse the Charlieflex. And you think overall, like the NeoPixels, they're brighter, it's a better build quality, it's newer. You'd think it'd just be pretty quick, like, oh, I like the NeoPixels better. But what I'm finding is that I actually like them both in kind of different ways. And so yeah, that's kind of cool and exciting. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.